Hello, Year 11. Welcome to your Literature Tri-Weekly, Spring Tri-Weekly 1. Today you're going to need a pen, some paper, a highlighter and a copy of the attached question. So do it on paper and then you're going to upload it onto Class Charts and put your copy of it your end into your revision folder. So go and get those things, write that title on the top of your piece of paper and then we'll go on to the next slide. You'll do now is practice for what you're going to be doing in the Tri-Weekly, which is some language analysis in light of a question. So here's the piece of evidence that you would have picked. It was black and stormy as lightning flashed like a blade in a dark room. Now I want you to perform a close word analysis on this sentence that shows how it creates a sense of fear. And do not forget to mention the subject technology. 5 minutes on that, please. And here's the Do Now review, which is my version of what it is that I asked you to do. So the writer has created a sense of fear with the simile flashed like a blade in a dark room. The words flashed and blade have connotations of sudden violence. This creates a sense of fear. So you're going to be writing analytical paragraphs that contain this type of close word analysis in the Tri-Weekly, which is coming up. Right, and here it is, the Literature Tri-Weekly. Now, here we are. How does Stevenson present Dr. Jekyll's struggles with his Mr. Hyde in this extract and elsewhere in the novel? So the first thing, as you know, that we do is that we highlight the command words in the questions. How present Dr. Jekyll's struggles in this extract, and elsewhere, crucially, in the novel. So there's the command words. I'll read it to you, then we'll go on to the next slide where I've got some instructions to help you complete the Tri-Weekly. I was stepping leisurely across the court after breakfast, drinking the chill of the air with pleasure, when I was seized again with those indescribable sensations that heralded the change, and I had but the time to gain the shelter of my cabinet before raging and freezing with the passions of Hyde. It took on this occasion a double dose to recall me to myself, and alas, 6 hours after, as I sat looking sadly in the fire, the pangs returned, and the drug had to be re-administered. In short, from that day forth, it seemed only by a great effort, as of gymnastics, and only under the immediate simulation of the drug, that I was able to wear the countenance of Jekyll. At all hours of the day and night I would be taken with a premonitory shudder, above all if I slept or even dozed for a moment in my chair, and was always as Hyde that I awakened. Under the strain of this continually impending doom, and by the sleeplessness to which I now condemned myself, I, even beyond what I had thought possible to man, I became in my own person a creature, eaten up and emptied by fever, languidly weak both in body and mind, and solely occupied by one thought, the horror of my other self. But when I slept, or when the virtue of the medicine wore off, I would leap almost without transition, for the pains of transformation grew daily less marked, into the possession of a fancy brimming with images of terror, a soul boiling with causeless hatreds, and a body that seemed not strong enough to contain the raging energies of life. The powers of Hyde seemed to have grown with the sickliness of Jekyll, and certainly the hate that now divided them was equal on each side. With Jekyll it was a thing of vital instinct. He had now seen the full deformity of that creature that shared with him some of the phenomena of consciousness, and was co-heir with him to death. And beyond these links of community, which in themselves made the most poignant part of his distress, he thought of Hyde, for all his energy of life, as of something not only hellish but inorganic. This was the shocking thing, that the slime of the pit seemed to utter cries and voices, that the amorphous dusk gesticulated and sinned, that what was dead and had no shape should usurp the offices of life. And this again, that insurgent horror was knit to him closer than a wife, closer than an eye lay caged in his flesh, where he heard it mutter and felt it struggle to be born, and at every hour of weakness and in the confidence of slumber prevailed against him and deposed him out of life. Right, so I'm going to show you how to do a plan. Eaten up and emptied by fever was the quote that I fancied. Right, so have a look at that and go on to the next slide. Now for this question you're expected to write three sides of A4 paper, that's 6 to 8 paragraphs, and you need to include at least 3 context points. Context being something that relates to the Victorian era. You know, even the fact that he had to hide this, he wouldn't have to hide quite so powerfully nowadays, but in Victorian times, when gentlemen were expected to be in control of themselves at all times, he would have had to. So look, you do your plan, you draw a thing, you put the question in the middle, and then you put your 6 to 8 quotes around the outside that you're going to build your answer around. So I've got eaten up and emptied by fever. The metaphor eaten up shows how he is being consumed, and the word fever makes it seem like an illness. Now you could build an analytical paragraph around that. So you need to do that another 5 or 7 times. And don't forget elsewhere in the novel. You need to mention elsewhere in the novel at least once. So there we are, on to the next slide. Now you just need to complete the tri-weekly and upload it to ClassCharts. Thank you, and speak to you tomorrow. If you've got any questions, obviously email me. My address is on the on ClassCharts. Well done, Year 11, and I will, good luck with that. I'm sure you'll smash it, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Cheers, bye.